Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Today I want to address a very common problem that happens among string players, and that is bow shakes. You probably experienced that by playing on stage and being nervous in front of audience, and it's completely natural because when we experience fright, our body is getting a lot of adrenaline, and that is making our heart rate up and makes our hands shake, and of course that influences our bow, and that is a problem that we need to deal with while we are playing on stage, and it's so unnecessary because it takes a lot of our thoughts when we're on stage, and instead of thinking about the music you suddenly start to obsess about the bow shake. So in this video I'm going to explain a couple of reasons why your bow shakes, and then I'm going to give you 2 tips how to get rid of this, or at least reduce it. When we are nervous, our muscles tense up, and that reduces the motor control, the fine motor control that we have on our muscles, and then we tend to tense up. So just to demonstrate what bow shake is, it usually starts when you play down bow from the frog, and then you move to the middle of the bow, and suddenly your bow shakes. Somewhere in the middle. The reason why we experience stage fright is because we are afraid of being judged or making mistakes, and that happens to everyone. Even the most famous musicians are experiencing the same, and I heard interviews with some of the most experienced musicians, and they also admit that they have stage fright, which is completely normal. It's important to know though what you can do about your stage fright, and I can give you some tips. And of course I am not a psychologist or expert any kind of stage fright or how to manage it, but I learned that if you prepare very well for your performance, of course practice your piece in small sections and address the problems you have with the piece, and then play it through and feel more confident about playing it with music or without the music. So decide quite early stage if you want to use your music or not on stage. The second thing is to try to perform as much as possible in front of friends or family, because that experience will make you less nervous. Take deep breaths before you go on stage. Try to visualize your success by mentally prepare yourself going on stage. Visualize that you are calm and you're going to have a successful concert, and see yourself on stage. Visualize how you play the piece, even hear the music in your head, and visualize how successful all of this is going to be. Another tip is to stay grounded. So when your heart starts to race and you feel the adrenaline, just try to put your feet on the ground and feel the floor, literally, and try to put down your shoulders, not to tense them up. I also want to give you other reasons for bow shaking, which are not psychological, are completely practical. The first reason can be that you have a very cheap bow or a violin or both. So you can check with your teacher or someone who is selling violins nearby, and talk to them and see if you can another bow or a violin which are more appropriate for your level of playing. Another reason can be also because you are a new beginner, or you didn't practice the violin for a long time and you are like out of form. Third reason can be that you are not starting to play on the right place. For example, here the bow is bouncing naturally. If you start more on the frog, it will not bounce so much. So if you are starting a piece of music and you are afraid that the bow will shake immediately, try to put the bow on the string before you start and not start from the air. And here that leads to the fourth reason, is where on the bow you are starting to play. So if you play in the middle and you start from the air, that will immediately make your bow shake. So choose another place where you can start your piece of music and don't start it from the air. A common reason for bow shake can also be that we're not applying the correct amount of weight on the string. And that is quite complicated, and I can address it in a special video. But imagine that you are playing on a down bow and you want to play a beautiful sound. Then you will need to know how much weight you're applying on the frog and then towards the middle and to the tip, and the amount of weight is always very different. That's also change when you're playing on the different strings. So the amount of weight you're using on E string will of course not be the same as on G string. And imagine that you're also playing changing strings quite often in a piece of music, so it is quite complicated. And I will advise you to try to play scales or even only open strings, just to practice your arm and how much weight you're applying on every string and where on the bow you need to apply more weight or less. And now let's talk about the 2 tips that I have for you that can help you to get rid of bow shakes. So you probably noticed that when your bow starts to shake, you want to hold the bow even more, and that is creating tension in your fingers and your hand. So if you experience that, please stop doing it and try to be as relaxed as possible, even so you feel nervous. And I've seen that a lot of people are like starting to get from the bow instead of holding the bow close with the fingers. Another thing people are doing are that they want to start playing louder, but maybe in your music you want to do just the opposite. You want to play soft and in piano. I learned from an amazing teacher, Nathan Cole, this trick, and he's talking about how you can actually roll your bow. So you have like this position of your hand, and then you just roll the bow to the other side, so the stick is going on to your scroll direction. And in that way you're using less hair, but you still have the same tension on the bow, on the hair of the bow. So if this is all of the hair, then when you roll the bow you're using less. And then you can, even if you tilt a lot, you can still tilt a little bit more, and you can look at your thumb being very close to the hair. So mine is completely touching it, and that is taking the tension from the bow shake. So let's try. So I'm starting with all of the hair. The bow starts to shake here. I will just tilt the bow. And the bow can continue to bounce, but it's actually a little bit less. And by just knowing that you have this little trick, it can help you to relax and to feel more confident on stage. Another trick that I heard people using is just to use more bow. So even if you're playing very soft and want to produce these beautiful sounds, you can always use a little bit of more bow, and that is also distributing the weight of the bow and making it a little bit less difficult to bounce. I hope that the tips that I gave you are practical, and next time you're on stage and you feel prepared and calm, and you still feel that you have this shake, which is a normal thing, you can try these tricks and see how much it helps you. And please let me know in your comments if you tried and how it went. I'll be happy to hear. So thank you very much for watching my videos. Give me a thumbs up if you liked the video and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in my next video.